Welcome back, I'm Joan Wolf, and you're watching 19th Century News Flash. Today we have an exciting story on the meat production industry turned upside down by one man, Upton Sinclair. I'm joined by Mr. Sinclair to tell us about his work. Can you tell us a little about yourself?
Sure, Joan. Hi, I'm Upton Sinclair, writer, journalist, novelist. I was born in Maryland originally, but I moved to New York when I was 10, so I'm a New Yorker at heart. Growing up poor, I developed a disdain for the wealthy and empathy for the poor, especially factory workers. When my writing career was just taking off, I wrote many novels with little success, but when I wrote The Jungle, which was about the horrific conditions of the meatpacking industry in Chicago where I did my research, it was a success. After this book, I continued to write many novels about instances of social injustice.
How did you uncover this travesty occurring in the meat industry?
Well, I was asked by a socialist journal, Appeal to Reason, to look into the meat industry in Chicago. In the several weeks I spent there, I discovered mistreatment of workers, unsanitary working conditions, inhumane treatment of animals, and many other horrible behaviors. I decided to publish my findings to the public, and my result was, again, The Jungle.
Today we have two brave souls who volunteered to talk to us about their work in these meat factories. Welcome and thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
These past few decades, the way meat is produced has been transformed. It's no longer done on small scale in farms and shipped locally. Now meat is processed and packaged in large industrial factories, then cooled and shipped over long distances.
As the system's changed, working conditions depleted, to make more money, businesses cut corners and no longer preventing problems in hygiene or health.
In the factories, there's raw meat everywhere, stored without being cooled, covered in rats and waste, and are swept into meat processor machines. Upton Sinclair was the first to talk about these details.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sinclair. How do you feel about how the public has responded to your publication of the expose?
There has been a large public response. I appreciate how many people realize the flaws in the system due to my book, but I worry people took away the wrong things from the novel. I was trying to express the need for change in working conditions for factory workers, but people mostly took away the unsanitary aspects instead. I aimed for the public's heart, but accidentally hit them in the stomach.
Well put, Mr. Sinclair. But I'd like to ask you, do you think your book has made an impact?
Well, I do. As you likely know, the public response to my book has caused the government to question the system of food production, and multiple bills have been passed since its publication.
Here to comment on the government's action regarding Mr. Sinclair's work, President of the United States, Theodore Roosevelt.
I received hundreds of letters from enraged Americans after The Jungle was published. Reading those letters, as well as reading the novel myself, I quickly realized something needed to be done. After other reports backed up the descriptions in Mr. Sinclair's novel, my team and I went to work in creating effective solutions to the problem. On June 20th, 1906, I signed into law two bills that had been passed by Congress: the Pure Food and Drug Act and the Meat Inspection Act. The Pure Food and Drug Act protects the public from products identified as healthy without scientific support, while the Meat Inspection Act prohibits the sale of adulterated or misbranded livestock and ensures that livestock are slaughtered and processed under sanitary conditions.
Sounds to me like it all worked out for the best. Thank you for sharing, Mr. President.
Thank you for having me.
This has been 19th Century News Flash. I'm your anchor, Joan Wolf. Back to you, Stephen.